Talk about some other money issues this morning, because we've been talking about sequestration, right? We've been talking about military finance so that the sons and daughters of those who served our military can go to college and get the money that they need. We can't give tours at the White House anymore because that's all closed up. But there's much criticism now being heaped on the Obama administration as it relates to the amount of money that's being poured into the Middle East.
What do you think, Jesse?
Well, I think it was about $500 million to the Palestinian Authority, $200 million to Jordan. But here's the deal. This is the way our diplomacy works. We hand out lots of cash. They do things that we want to do. We hand billions of dollars to Pakistan. They kind of do what we want to do. But, you know, I was actually riding into work today and I had a Pakistani driver. And he complained the entire ride while I was trying to get some work done about how this money is corrupting all these countries that we're giving them. But, I mean, how else are we supposed to have them change their behavior?
Right,
we got to do it with dough, right?
Well, I mean, that's been the conventional wisdom.
But it hasn't worked.
That's how we do it. Sometimes it works. I mean, obviously, giving money to Israel makes sense. You know, I wish that we had somebody from the State Department or the Council of Foreign Relations here to opine on just what we get for our money in the Middle East. But when it comes to Pakistan or to Egypt, for instance, where people are, where there are some terrorist bases, where there are people burning the American flag, it's hard to know what the investment is doing.
Yes, and remember Michelle Bachmann during the campaign talking about this. Should we not give any money to the Middle East? Should we pull back our money to Pakistan? And she was making the argument that when you have these sort of nuclear powers and you're worried that this could fall into the wrong hands, of course, this is where we gave money last year in 2012. Afghanistan, $15 billion.
Right? I mean, I don't know if we need that much, but that makes sense. Obviously, helping to rebuild and make Afghanistan secure. Everyone wants that.
Yeah, Pakistan, $2 billion, Israel, $3 billion, Iraq, $1.7 billion, Egypt, $1.6 billion. But, you know, when you look at Pakistan and India, right, I think we gave, like, no money to India. Became one of the world's largest democracies, of course. We had a choice back in whatever it was, the 70s or late 60s, to give money to India or to Pakistan. We ended up choosing to give money to Pakistan. Look what it's gotten us. Look what India did. Became one of the world's largest democracies. So I don't know that the ROI on these types of investments are great. But at the end of the day, we're closing White House for a few million bucks for tours, or a couple $100,000 to pay for White House tours. And this is the money that we ship overseas.
And the Pakistan situation is even more troubling because we're giving them $1 billion, and then the doctor that cooperated us and helped get bin Laden, he's in prison now.
And furthermore, they weren't that helpful in pointing out that somebody very dubious was living in a compound.
He was like next door to the military compound that everybody knew. So, you know, we don't know if it's money well spent. It's a lot of money. That's the problem.
I mean, the sequestration has brought all of this to the fore, obviously, because now we are so aware of exactly how much money everything costs. So $74,000 a week, according to the White House, for the White House tours. To many people, that seems well worth it because kids should see inside the White House. To other people, they say if you have to choose between that and Israel, maybe it's more important to give to Israel. It's a tough one, but that's where we are today.
Yeah, handing out money to other countries that are in turmoil, that have their own economic crises. Have you checked our country lately? Have you seen what's going on here? Have you seen what happened in Detroit last week, having to declare bankruptcy and have the state come in and take over for it?
Right. The $500 million that you're giving to the Palestinian people, I think that's like White House tours for the next 3 centuries or something like that.
Yes, it probably. I'll check your math.
Yeah, check my math.
But
please
speaking
check
of
my
Detroit,
math.